WWE is actually going to be giving us a few weeks build in order to get to the next pay-per-view, which is going to be Battleground, which of course is going to be on the WWE Network. And the first match announced is going to be Roman Reigns going up against Bray Wyatt. The big question is, why did Bray Wyatt target Roman Reigns? Roman Reigns had his shot. He beat down everyone. He seemed to be in control. He was the only one in the Money in the Bank ladder match to be climbing up the ladder. There was nobody else in the ring when the Bray Wyatt intro started. Everything went dark. When the lights came back on, he appeared. He was underneath Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was still grabbing for the Money in the Bank briefcase, but Bray Wyatt tipped the ladder over, making it where Roman Reigns would not be able to grab the contract. Is Bray Wyatt now a contracted player for the Authority, seeing how it looks like the Authority is going to be losing Seth Rollins, maybe dumping him and going into another direction? Or is Bray Wyatt maybe just angry that Roman Reigns beat him in order to qualify for the Money in the Bank match itself? Bray Wyatt had a one-on-one match just 2 weeks ago against Roman Reigns when Roman Reigns had already wrestled 2 matches prior, and Roman was able to still pull out the win, going 3-0 on one episode of Monday Night Raw. And it sort of shows you where Bray Wyatt really sits. Roman Reigns, your Royal Rumble winner, your main event wrestler of WrestleMania 31. He also competed in the main event of, not the main event, but he was in the Money in the Bank match itself. And, Bray Wyatt is a guy that came into WWE 2 years ago, and he just really hasn't got anything. Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns, honestly, in my mind, is not the feud that is going to get Bray Wyatt over. At this point, I believe that they have no idea what is going to be going on with either of these guys. Definitely, you can even see that Randy Orton is lost in the mix about where his next feud is going to be. But, Bray versus Roman doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, and I know for a lot of times, I say, let's just see what happens, let's see how this plays out. We don't even have a Monday Night Raw angle where we're going to be getting the reasoning from Bray Wyatt about why he tipped the ladder over a match, but when it comes down to it, Bray's going to come out, it's going to be all dark, we're all going to like his entrance, he's going to start to talk, we're all going to get bored, barely understand anything the guy's saying, and we're just going to be counting down until these guys finally have a match. Roman Reigns, maybe it looks like he's not going to be a part of the Brock Lesnar deal, with Brock Lesnar showing up on Monday Night Raw tomorrow, but we're going to have to see where this goes from here and what direction we're going to. But Roman Reigns against Bray Wyatt is the first match named for the Battleground show. It's already been said that Brock Lesnar is going to be a part of it, but, where do we go from here? And, how does this help Bray? How does this help Roman? I don't know. I got to see more. Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today, talking a little bit about wrestling. WWE Battleground coming up right around the corner. I talked about this in the few videos that I've talked making about the show, but honestly, it's a little bit hard to shake the fact that WWE doesn't have this show coming up next weekend. It's actually, we've sort of got used to this every other week. We have a pay-per-view, and I don't know, with a couple more weeks to build onto these feuds, it could get real good. I mean, honestly, when it was first announced for Battleground that we were going to get Roman Reigns going against Bray Wyatt, honestly, I was a little bit surprised that you would put a guy that you're trying to fast track to get to the title, even though he's in a little bit of a hold pattern right now. While Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar have their one-on-one match, maybe Roman Reigns can fit into the puzzle of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship somewhere down the line. This guy, is continually been getting screwed over and over as he's gotten close to the title, with Seth Rollins cashing in at WrestleMania 31 when he was putting up a fight, when he was about to grab the briefcase to be able to cash in and find a way to get his own championship. Bray Wyatt appears and pushes the ladder over, and I know that's the way to start the feud, with some guy screwing the other guy, especially in a main event match, even though it was in the opener, like the Money in the Bank. People look at that like it's basically like a Royal Rumble. It's a big deal, that pay-per-view every year. You could have a horrible undercard, and you have that Money in the Bank match. You know that one match is going to shape up what the summer is going to be doing for professional wrestling in WWE. But Bray Wyatt shows up on Monday Night Raw, and like always, he delivers his long promo, talking about who knows what, but then he appears to pull out a picture of Roman Reigns and his daughter, from the WWE Dads campaign. With Father's Day being right up around the corner, this is a real, sort of touchy issue of them bringing in kids into wrestling. We've seen this used a few times, of course, with Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio, with the whole Dominic angle, with SummerSlam leading to the ladder match to see who the real father of Dominic would be. We've seen, in ECW, Sandman hypnotize. Oh no, Sandman's kid get hypnotized by Raven and started believing in the Raven, and it was a long drawn out storyline of a son turning on his father and joining up with his enemy. And I would be really surprised if we ever see Roman Reigns' daughter in real life. But this is something that we've been sort of chasing and wrestling for a long time to bring a piece of realism to what we're watching. We've been wondering for a while if Vince McMahon would ever use any of his grandkids, whether if it was Shane or Stephanie's kids involved in any kind of angle. I remember my buddy Miguel pitching an idea of maybe during the Summer of Punk versus Triple H deal, them using the kids somehow, or I can't really remember how it went down, but I remember in one of his videos he said that it would even come down to them using Triple H's daughter in one of the videos. But we'll see what goes down with this. I would be really surprised. I don't think it's going to come down to, if you remember Extreme Rules, the steel cage match, Bray Wyatt versus John Cena with the little kids coming down to ringside, and then as John Cena was trying to exit the cage, you have the kid with the microphone singing he's got the whole world in his hands, and John Cena's so stunned that he's not able to leave the cage, gets attacked. I think he got the steel cage slammed in his face. He came back in and he ate a Sister Abigail from Bray Wyatt, and that's how Bray Wyatt got his pin on John Cena in the steel cage match. But be really surprised that happens. But with this realism that is out there, maybe they can really get something going with Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns. I sort of looked at this as sort of a null and void kind of match that I just really didn't care about. But I don't know, this realism really could be bringing something into WWE to make it something very, very attractive to be wanted to watch. All right, here we go. We're going to go into the Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns match. The one match that I want to stay the farthest away from. I think this is the one match that WWE has made the most mistakes in putting this match together. Honestly, in my opinion, that since WrestleMania 31, Roman Reigns has been on his way up. Bray Wyatt, everything he touched has turned to stone. Nothing has worked for Bray Wyatt in the past year. If you look at that SummerSlam feud from last year with him going up against Jericho, the never-ending feud between Bray Wyatt going up against Dean Ambrose, basically people got bored to death of Bray Wyatt doing promo after promo after promo, waiting for Undertaker to show up this year at WrestleMania 31 and beat down and kill this guy off. For this guy only to pop up and to be coming after Roman Reigns now. Okay, if you go back, the whole setup of this match was Money in the Bank. The one thing that they've never really gone back and touched on since. At Money in the Bank, Roman Reigns was climbing up the ladder to grab that golden briefcase to become Mr. Money in the Bank, to get that championship shot anytime. And from there, as he was climbing up, the lights went out, Bray Wyatt emerged, shoved over the ladder. Roman Reigns doesn't win. Roman Reigns, once again, at a Money in the Bank show, going after his chance to become champion, which is his goal because he is the new John Cena of the WWE, he's not able to achieve his goal. Last year at Money in the Bank, I believe it was his first WWE Championship shot, and he was really outraged at the fact that he was not able to get this done. Now, Bray Wyatt, basically, this match was booked. It was announced on the Money in the Bank show before it even ended that, make sure you keep your WWE network, because at Battleground, we're going to see Roman Reigns fight Bray Wyatt. No reason. They never told us, why Bray they did this to Roman, we were just told this is the match. They didn't wait to build any part of the storyline where they sewed this together, where Roman is trying to get to Bray to find out why he did this, even though he just gives us a promo saying anyone but you, basically saying that Bray Wyatt is a member of the WWE Universe that basically doesn't want Roman Reigns to be the new face of WWE, and he wants anyone else to become champion. They never really put the storyline together. They've been real close. We've seen, Bray Wyatt acting things out for the Authority. Why they couldn't just say that the Authority had made sure that Bray Wyatt was going to make it where Roman Reigns didn't win it, I got no clue. That would have been the easiest way to put it together, but they ended up doing a segment on Monday Night Raw with Bray Wyatt and a photo of Roman Reigns, and then they had, Bray Wyatt having a tea party with Roman Reigns' daughter, and Roman Reigns thought that his daughter had been kidnapped and was being held hostage, only to sort of, let's sweep that under the rug and act like that never happened again, because that doesn't really fit in with the image of our guys, having tea parties with little girls and kidnapping them from their parents. This is a match, it's just garbage, man. This is just, they took Roman Reigns, they wanted to put him into a program where basically he would have a match, he wouldn't be around the WWE Championship because Brock was coming back, and they wanted to do Brock versus Seth one-on-one. They didn't want him to put him on ice, but this is even worse. They basically sunk Roman Reigns with this program. How they haven't looked in the mirror and noticed that Bray Wyatt hasn't done anything remarkable in well over a year. Some people will even debate you, saying that he hasn't done anything since his debut. Easily in my mind, this is one of the things. I know that Eric Rowan is injured, and he's not going to be back for a while, but Eric Rowan and Luke Harper had reunited as a tag team. Even though they had reunited, they weren't in the Elimination Chamber match. But I believe that if Eric Rowan wasn't injured, this is why you should have put the Wyatts back together as the threesome. And, you basically could have had where basically they were fighting the fight for Bray to get us the Battleground, instead of having, Roman always chasing Bray around, or doing a run-in during his match. He would always have the lackeys on the outside keeping him away, where Bray could look like he is a wuss that picked a fight that he's not able to win. And then once Battleground comes around, we really see how strong this guy is. But we'll see. It's not a match that I'm looking forward to at all. Hey, what up everybody, this is Steve Breach coming to you, sitting here enjoying my morning, and it was a little bit weird waking up on East Coast time today, but today is the big Battleground 2015 show. Lots of people getting hyped about the pay-per-view tonight. Listening to Wrestling Observer this morning when I was sipping my coffee, and they were talking about Undertaker and Sting and what their role in WWE is going to be in the foreseeable future, and I don't know, they said that the Sting's plans were at SummerSlam he was going to be wrestling against Bray Wyatt. And honestly, this just seems like another feud that's just going to sink another guy. I mean, obviously, if Bray Wyatt is going to be wrestling Roman Reigns tonight, I guess that's just going to be a 1-month blow-off feud. I'm guessing that Roman beats Bray, and that's going to be enough for Roman to get, sort of the victory over him, because he spoiled his chances of getting the Money in the Bank briefcase at the Money in the Bank show. But I don't think really enough people really got hyped about that show, about that match. It just didn't seem like it was that big of a deal. And we've seen Bray Wyatt sink Chris Jericho, Dean Ambrose. If you look at Dean Ambrose last year, last year with the Hell in the Cell show with him and Seth Rollins, they were the main event, and then from there, Bray Wyatt appeared in the Hell in the Cell, ending that feud. People were thinking that Dean Ambrose was going to be the new Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then people were begging for that Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt feud to just end. Just hurry up and die already. We saw them have matches for Halloween, Thanksgiving, Tribute in the Troops, Christmas, TLC. Enough is enough. It just was a feud that had no points, no being, no nothing. And now here is Sting, sort of the wild card in the WWE, the guy that, was never really supposed to be there. Comes in, wrestles against Triple H. Some people were down on the match. at WrestleMania 31. Some thought it was a lot of fun, but you know, everybody wants to see Sting wrestle again, whether if it's against the Undertaker or whether if it's against. I wouldn't mind seeing him wrestle against a guy from today like Seth Rollins, but putting him up against Bray Wyatt sort of seems like you're putting him up against in a feud that nobody wants to see this guy wrestle again. It's almost like finding a way to kill off Sting, and I think it's a bad idea. I just think it's bad. I understand that they want to make SummerSlam feel like WrestleMania. It's going to be in the New York, New Jersey area. You're packing it with maybe Undertaker versus Lesnar, Sting versus Bray Wyatt. I guess that's only the matches. You know, Rollins versus Triple H is the match that's being thought of. You know, Brock would have to do something. So there's a lot of stuff going on at SummerSlam. I understand that they want to make it seem like a big show, but Bray Wyatt versus Sting just seems like a match that I just don't really want to see.